Hello YouTube, Grand Captain Speedy Dash here. Last time on What If Kakarot Was Born a Super Saiyan 4, Cell absorbs the androids and becomes perfect. How will Kakarot do against perfect Cell? Find out now. Perfect Cell is intrigued how Kakarot has come to it, but states that Kakarot is too late as it's perfect now. Kakarot says that he'll be the judge of that and challenges Cell. Cell and Kakarot begin fighting, with Cell getting caught off guard by Kakarot's strength, with them being close to equal in strength. Almost everyone is surprised at how much stronger Kakarot has gotten. Cell begins getting frustrated how Kakarot has a slight edge in power and superior combat ability, causing Cell to resort to using his buff form. Kakarot is surprised at the surge of power, but it becomes a stalemate, as his attacks have little effect, while its attacks are too slow to hit him. The fight continues as a stalemate until Cell falls out of its buff form, unable to maintain it. Kakarot criticizes Cell as it chose a quick power boost that slowed it down and ultimately blew through its stamina. Cell refuses to accept its losing and begins flailing while Kakarot is dominating the fight. Kakarot begins charging a Kamehameha, with Cell getting scared and tries to run away, but a blast from Future Gohan is able to distract it for a moment. After finishing, Kakarot teleports to Cell and yells Kamehameha times 10 before launching his strongest Kamehameha ever at Cell, which quickly envelops it. Future Gohan is completely shocked at how strong Kakarot really is, but present Gohan questions why Kakarot held back. Kakarot states that he wasn't holding back, but Gohan thought that because he was comparing his own strength to Kakarot's. Everyone is surprised at this, with Future Gohan wanting training, but Piccolo says that he'll help with that instead. Time passes, with Goten being born similar to Kakarot and Gohan, while Raditz has a normal half-Saiyan child with Bulma named Trunks. Gohan began going to high school and starts being a superhero as the Great Saiyaman. It isn't long until Videl learns the Great Saiyaman's secret identity and blackmails Gohan into joining the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai. Gohan talks to Chi-Chi and Kakarot about being forced into joining the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai. Chi-Chi is against the idea until she hears about the prize money, and then she wants Kakarot and Gohan to win the tournament. Kakarot thinks about making it a meetup and rushes off to invite the others, despite Chi-Chi's protests. Raditz, learning about the tournament, begins training Trunks, hoping his son will do better against Goten than he does against Kakarot. Meanwhile, Kakarot trains with Gohan and Goten until Videl interrupts, with Gohan having to teach Videl how to fly. After teaching Videl, Gohan returns to training with Kakarot and Goten. Time passes until it's finally time for the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai. The finals of the Junior Division arrive, with Goten and Trunks entering the ring. Trunks quickly goes Super Saiyan, but Goten quite easily beats Trunks, knocking him out of the ring before leaving the ring himself. The finalists for the tournament are Pintar, Krillin, Piccolo, Shin, Spopovich, Videl, Kibito, Great Saiyaman, Hercule, 18, Kakarot, Raditz, Gine, Mighty Mask, Nappa, and Yamu. Pintar and Krillin enter the ring for the first match. Krillin effortlessly knocks Pintar out of the ring before leaving the ring himself. Piccolo and Shin enter the ring for the next match. Before the fight even starts, Piccolo surrenders and leaves the ring, with Shin leaving the ring shortly after. Afterward, Piccolo learns just who Shin is. Spopovich and Videl enter the ring for the next match. Videl starts the match with a slight advantage, but Spopovich soon starts gaining an edge as Videl slows down. Spopovich begins brutally beating Videl until Yamu tells him to end the match, with him throwing her out of the ring before leaving the ring himself. Kibito and the Great Saiyaman enter the ring for the next match. Gohan is surprised when Kibito asks Gohan to raise his ki as high as possible, though Gohan is unsure. Piccolo shouts for Gohan to do it, with Gohan beginning to raise his ki, causing the world to begin to shake, surprising Shin and Kibito with how much power Gohan is outputting. Spopovich and Yamu quickly react, rushing in while Shin attempts to restrain Gohan, but fails, with Gohan easily knocking away Spopovich and Yamu, causing the two to run away. Shin and Kibito quickly head after them, with Kakarot, Gohan, Raditz, Nappa, Gine, Piccolo, and Krillin soon following. Babidi quickly disposes of the failures and tells Dabura to invite their guest in, before entering the spaceship. Dabura launches a surprise attack against Kibito, but Kakarot launches his own attack, knocking Dabura away, with Dabura in surprise heading back to the ship. Shin says it's a trap and they shouldn't all go in, with Shin and Kibito going in along with Kakarot, Gohan, Raditz, and Nappa. Pui Pui shortly greets them and begins explaining the situation they find themselves in. They decide they are going to play Rochambeau to decide the order that they will fight in, with the order being Nappa, Raditz, Kakarot, then Gohan. Pui Pui laughs at what he views as stupidity before Nappa kills him in an instant. With the door open, they descend further into the ship. On the next floor, they are quickly greeted by Yakan. Babidi teleports them somewhere to give Yakan an advantage, but Raditz still has an edge. Deciding to show off, Raditz transforms into a Super Saiyan, but Yakan eats Super Saiyan off of Raditz. Raditz wants to test something going Super Saiyan again, with Yakan trying to eat Super Saiyan again, letting Raditz overfeed him, causing him to blow up. With the door open, they descend further into the ship. They are kept waiting until Dabura enters the room. Dabura says he'll kill them all at once, but Kakarot states he'll be Dabura's opponent. Kakarot and Dabura start fighting, with Kakarot effortlessly beating Dabura. Dabura tries pulling out every trick he has, but Kakarot is too strong and shortly finishes off Dabura. With the door open, they descend further into the ship. Babidi is freaking out and attempts to take control of any of them, but fails, causing the door to him to open. Taking no chances, Shin rushes down as soon as the door opens, with everyone else shortly following. Having already taken care of Babidi by the time they arrive, Shin thanks the Saiyans for their assistance in stopping the revival of Majin Buu. Shin offers them training as thanks for their great deed, despite the disgust of Kibito. Kakarot, Raditz, and Nappa happily accept. However, Gohan doesn't want the training, but Kakarot is able to convince Gohan to train some. Kakarot, Raditz, and Nappa are the three to train the most on the sacred planet of the Kais, with Gohan occasionally training. After some time, Kakarot is able to convince Shin and Kibito to let Bardock move to the sacred planet of the Kais. Kakarot pulls the Z-Sword and shortly breaks it, releasing Elder Kai. Elder Kai offers to unlock Kakarot's potential, but he has a different idea and suggests unlocking Gohan's potential. Kakarot is able to convince Gohan to set aside time to get his potential unlocked. After getting his potential unlocked, Gohan wants to test his new power against his father. Kakarot and Gohan start fighting, with Gohan having a complete edge over Kakarot, even with Kakarot using a high Kaioken. Gohan began getting cocky, stating he's invincible, with Bardock joining the fight in Super Saiyan 3. It isn't long until Bardock suggests showing Gohan something they had been practicing, with Bardock fusing with Kakarot. Kakarot states he'll take Gohan down and begins fighting with Gohan. Gohan tries his hardest, but is completely outmatched by Kakarot, with Gohan shortly losing. Kakarot states you never know when someone stronger will show up, so you need to keep training to be ready. Time passes until during one training trip, Elder Kai begins demanding that Kakarot hide, with him shortly doing so. Beerus arrives and is displeased that Elder Kai has been released, but quickly asks Bardock if he knows anything about the Super Saiyan God. Bardock is completely clueless, with Beerus shortly asking for the hiding Saiyan to come out and answer the question. Kakarot quickly leaves his hiding spot and greets Beerus, with Elder Kai yelling at Kakarot. Beerus asks Kakarot if he knows anything about the Super Saiyan God, but Kakarot is clueless as well. Kakarot asks if he can fight Beerus, with Elder Kai having a tantrum, but Beerus accepts. As the fight starts, it's clear Beerus is just toying with Kakarot. Kakarot begins using Kaioken and pushes Kaioken to his absolute limit. Beerus is surprised by the power jump, but quickly takes back control of the fight, knocking Kakarot out. Bardock is completely shocked, and despite Beerus enjoying the fight, he still wants to know about the Super Saiyan God. Whis states there are 6 more Saiyans on Earth, with Beerus saying that will be their next destination. This is where I'll end the part for now. How will they keep Earth safe from the overwhelming power of Beerus? Find out next time on What If Kakarot Was Born a Super Saiyan 4? If you enjoy my content, check out my Steam group and Discord to join the community I'm building, as well as liking the video and subscribing to my channel. And if you have any money to spare, maybe consider throwing a little of it my way. And as always, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are.